Okay, New York and Asia session done. Took one trade on gold in New York. Higher time frame breakout levels are all bullish. Peak bias are all bullish. Coming into the session, I saw that we broken out of the previous week high, and I was looking for a low of the day buy to continue the higher time frame trend. So first hour of New York faked out the H8 low, but I don't trade the first hour of New York. So I start only watching the market at the start of the new H8 bar, but I did see that fake out. Even if I do trade first hour of New York, I wouldn't trade this because it was going right into the previous day high as well as the previous month high, both at the same level. So I waited until price broke out of those two levels. And once it broke out of these two levels, did not want to trade right into the H8 high, waited for price to break out of that. So here's the first breakout bar that closes above all those levels. And this is a breakout or a trend breakout setup. And I was waiting for an M15 low fake out to take the move up, to continue the move. So this M15 low fake out was when I saw that, entered above the break of the high, stop loss at the low, and taking this as a breakout or a trend breakout. I have no targets when I trade breakouts. I'm usually trailing the move, but in this case, it didn't matter because there was no continuation and price took me out, stop loss. Take one bar stops in whenever I take breakouts, and that's because most breakouts fail, as you can see. And so whenever I take breakouts, it's high risk, high reward. And in this case, if I take a loss, it's just 1R. But if I don't, it's usually a nice move, and I can take a significant amount. So took that one loss, and then I shut it down. Didn't like price action in New York last night. Didn't need to force a trade or anything like that. Shut it down, and that was it. But if I didn't shut it down, 15 minutes later, I would have had a nice entry right here. The market can be such a jerk sometimes, right? But that's how it goes. Did not take this one. I was already off, and that was it. Took one loss in New York, and that's it. So I took this because it's a breakout, broke out of the previous day high, broke out of the previous H8 high, trend breakout setup. Took a M15 low fake out to continue to move up, but there was no continuation. In hindsight, this is probably not the best candle to take, and that's because the last M15 breakout level gets flipped by a bearish breakout bar. So the M15 was bearish when I took this entry. These yellow bars are whenever the breakout level gets flipped. And so I was trading right into the breakout level of the M15. So if you look at my chart, and this might be a little bit abstract for some people, but this is how I view price action. This chart works on every single time frame. Here's the M15 high breakout level. So that's a breakout high. Price broke out of that M15 high level, faked out the previous high right at the top here. That's a breakout reversal. And once price gets below this M15 breakout level, turns into a false breakout. Faking out the low below that breakout level is a fake out retracement. I've said in many videos that fake out retracement is a cycle that I take the most losses on. And it's because very often I'm looking to trade this right back up to the high, but a lot of times it'll go right to that breakout level and fail, turn into a fake out continuation, and then start a new trend. And so that's exactly what happened this time. Took it, failed right at that breakout level, and then reversed on me. And that was it. One trade, and I shut it down. Um, didn't like anything else last night. Indices, didn't like NAS. NAS had flipped that breakout level, the daily breakout level. This is a breakout low, and it flipped it. So this is a possible peak formation. Did not want to trade right into that. There was a nice one bar entry, uh, one that I could have taken. It was right at that H8 breakout level. Would have been a nice one to take on the M1, but did not want to trade right into the previous week high. And then I also had a bullish bias because of the peak formation down here. So price came down, faked out the previous day uh, level, and I wanted to take it back up, but I did not like it because there was a previous week high, as I mentioned right here. But there was also the H4 high as well. Did not want to trade right into this. If I dropped down to the M1, I could have probably found a nice entry and traded right up to that level, but I don't trade the M1 anymore or not as often. I'm finding trading the M15 or the M5 is a lot more comfortable, and I can risk a lot more and hold for longer as well. So on the M15, I'm risking 1% on my trades, and I just find it a lot more comfortable nowadays. So um, yeah, and especially on days where I'm busy, I don't really have to manage my trades as much on the M15. So did not trade NAS because of that. SPX had a very similar price action. Um, it was in it was an inside day, I think it was, and it faked out the high of that inside day range. So it faked out the high of that range. So I had bearish bias on this one. Came right down to the previous day previous day high. So did not want to take this because it just faked out the higher of the range, and the H4 low was right here as well. So lots of mixed bias in here. So did not want to take anything on SPX. The one I like the most is actually US 30, but did not set up for me. US 30 higher time frames all bullish, was looking for a breakout. So it did break out of the H8 high right before NY equity open. Was waiting for an M15 low fake out to take it up, but next bar closed as an inside bar. So whenever there's an inside bar, I extend the previous highs and lows, and that becomes a range. And then so this entry right here, I wouldn't consider this a breakout because it didn't break out of anything. It's inside of a new range, and it just continued to stay in this range. And so that's it. Did not like US 30 and moved on from the indices. And so took only one trade on gold, that one lost, and that was it in New York. So today's Asia session still had the same bias on gold, and this time I caught this guy. One bar stop on one bar breakout and took this. So I'll take one bar breakouts when the previous day high and the H8 high levels are the same. This means I'm breaking out of an established range. If I have an established range, then I'll take it one bar stop. But if the edges are staggered like this, then I'm waiting for the retracement. So one bar stop, and the way that I manage my breakouts is I look for the last M15 breakout level that gets flipped. So here's the last M15 breakout level. Saw this M15 fake out bar, and then as price was reversing, I ended up taking partials. So took partials at around 1.5 R, and yeah, that was it. So now I'm at break even, and I'm be trailing this move. So the way I trail, every time there's a breakout level reversal, this is the last bullish breakout bar, it gets taken out by a bearish one, and then when it reverses, the last bearish one gets taken out by a bullish one. Then I start trailing my stops. So I'm trailing my runners here, and let's see how far this wants to go. And that's it. That's the only trade that I took. Did not take anything else in Asia. Was looking at Nikkei. Nikkei faked out the previous day low here, and so daily is bullish because it faked out the previous day low. In order to reverse that move, I'm looking for an H8 high fake out, and so did not get an H8 high fake out, and yeah, so did not take this. Broke out over here, broke out below this breakout level, and then there was an M15 high fake out. So could have taken this down, but I did not because um, this M15 low got faked out here. So whenever there's two opposite facing fake out bars, I know that it's going to be a range. So once I saw this fake out, I wasn't interested to take this move. So very similar setup to yesterday's uh, trade, where it did take out that breakout level, but in this case, it's a breakout high, and then so that's a flip of a breakout. So this turns into a possible peak formation, and then the retracement back here did not fake out the low, and so that's why I preferred this one. If you watched yesterday's Asia session, I took this move down. The other thing, again, some people find my concepts a little bit abstract, but it's I've been trading it for so long now that it's second nature to me. I see this as a trend retracement. There's a strong push down, and then I'm looking for a retracement back up to the high of that M15, and I'm looking for a higher the day, higher that M15 fake out to take it down. It's a trend retracement, well, this is a daily one, but the peak of the previous day's peak has to be untriggered. In this case, it's the M15. The M15 has been untriggered, so trend retracement on the M15. And yeah, so in this case, it did fake out the low, so that negates that move. And that's it. So did not take Nikkei, just took gold, and it looks like I think there was some news coming right now, so I'm probably going to be taken out pretty soon. And that's it. No setups on GJ. Didn't do anything for me. Flipped the breakout level. Um, yeah, but still above the H8 breakout level, and now it's kind of just mixed bias. Need to see some more before I'm interested in this. And that was it. New York and Asia done. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to trade London today, but if I do, I'll make a video on it. And that's it.